I have to write about the bells. Can you hear me? I remembered the voice asking. Hey, you still with us? Come on. My eyes opened. I can remember suddenly looking up into the faces of several people I didn't know. Paramedics, I thought. Guess I'm on my way to the hospital again. Hey, her eyes! She's awake! They... I whispered softly. You're in an ambulance, one of the paramedics said. On our way to the hospital, okay? You're gonna be alright. I knew, at that exact moment, that I hated them. I knew I had failed again. I just looked away and stared at the ceiling of the ambulance. I knew more punishment was soon to come. And I felt more guilt than I had when I first swallowed those pills and slit open my wrists. I felt guilty because I just wanted it all to be over. Unfortunately for me, I remember thinking, this is just the beginning. I hate Christmas. I always have. I can remember closing my eyes then and just waiting, hoping that this stupid holiday was my last. When I opened my eyes again, I was alone in a hospital bed. I must have passed out. Maybe it was the blood loss, maybe it was the drugs. I'm still not sure. Guess it doesn't really matter now. I was used to hospitals. The bright lights and sterile white colors were oddly comforting. Almost like coming home or something. Wondering when you'd wake up, a voice said. I turned and saw a young nurse in purple scrubs enter the room. I have to admit, they were very pretty, so I couldn't help but stare. And the fact that they had a metal safety pin stuck on their shoulder sleeve definitely put me at ease. Where am I? I asked. St. Agnes, the young nurse answered as they checked my vitals. Where's that? I asked. Right over the county line. You got any family here, Kelsey? Maybe visiting for the holidays? I looked away. Dead name, I said. What? They asked me without looking up. My name's not Kelsey, I said quietly. Charts say Kelsey Marie Rinslet. The young nurse looked at me. That not you? I looked at the young nurse and said, You're not family, are you? The young nurse furrowed their brows in confusion. I motioned to their sleeve, the safety pin. I'm sorry, I don't get it, the young nurse said back. Never mind, I said. Doesn't matter. The young nurse returned to my charts. So, what should I call you then? Vic, I said. Like Vicky or Victoria? Like Vic, I said. The young nurse looked back at me, then smirked with a nod. Got it. They, them, I explained further. Understood, the young nurse said. You on tea? Have to know in case something conflicts. Not anymore, I said softly. Got it. Well, I'll be back later. You need anything? How's your pain? My binder? I asked. Paramedics cut it off when you got here. I crossed my arms and looked at my blanket. Look, the young nurse said, I can get an ace bandage for you if you want. Even let you use my safety pin. I looked back at the pretty young nurse. Thank you, I said. Merry Christmas, Vic. The young nurse started to leave when I asked, Hey, when can I go home? Not for a while. Standard procedure, the young nurse said. I'm on watch, I asked knowingly. Rules haven't changed, the young nurse said as they left. I knew what that really meant. I was stuck there. I must have dozed off after that. I was in and out for a while. I would wake up briefly to different things, different sounds. In the evening, I heard a family surprise their grandmother with a Christmas visit. Merry Christmas, Nana! The little children down the hall cheered. Oh, thank you, little ones, she said back with a chuckle. Later that night, I heard nurses gossiping about Christmas dinner. We're hosting again this year, one nurse said. That's crazy, you don't even have kids, the second nurse responded. Yeah, try telling that to my mother-in-law, the first remarked. I could remember thinking again, I hate Christmas. It's cold, it's lonely, and it's the most expensive time of the year. I don't know what time it was, but I know it was late, when I woke up to the sound of bells. I sat up in bed, not sure of what I had just heard. I can remember waiting and listening. Must have been dreaming, I thought as I laid back down. Then I heard it again, a faint jingling sound. I got to my feet and stared at the open door to the empty hallway. "Hello?" I asked sheepishly. I don't know what I was expecting, but I felt like I had to say something. Then I heard it again, the muffled chimes of a bell. Without a second thought, I ripped out the IV and monitors. The machines beeped and squealed as I stepped into the hallway. The hallway was darker than I expected. Who the hell turns off the lights in a hospital? I took a few steps forward. Then I heard the bells again. I can remember all kinds of thoughts flooding into my head. What was this? Some kind of weird Christmas thing? Why are bells ringing at night in a hospital? Who was ringing them? "Vic?" a voice said. I jumped and turned to look behind me. Suddenly, the lights were all on, and I was surrounded by nursing staff. "Vic, can you hear me?" the young nurse in purple scrubs asked. "Get a sedative ready," another nurse whispered. "What?" I managed to say back. Then I looked and saw the blood rushing down my bandaged forearms. My wrist wounds had reopened. I was bleeding all over the floor. But how? Then I saw it. I had a blade in my hand. A scalpel, I remember thinking to myself. I don't know how it got there, but once I realized what it was, I dropped the blade immediately. As soon as the scalpel hit the floor, I could feel the nursing staff restrain me. They must have injected me with something, because everything faded to black. I was out again. My eyes opened, and I was back in my hospital bed. I was rebandaged, the monitors were replaced, and the IV was back. "Wondering when you'd wake up," a voice said. I turned and saw the young nurse in the purple scrubs again. I'm sorry," I said weakly. "Guilt's a perfectly normal response to trauma, Kelsey." "My name is Vic, remember? Says Kelsey Marie Rinslet on your charts." "Yeah, we talked about it already. My name's Vic." "We've never met before," the young nurse finally said after an awkward pause. My eyes widened, and I could feel myself getting upset. "Tell you what," the young nurse said. "Let's start over. How's that? My name's Kristen. Nice to meet you, Vic." Nurse Kristen waited a second, then went back to my charts. I just stared blankly. I didn't know what to say or do next. "I'm very confused," I said. "Well, that's a side effect of the drugs. How's your pain?" Nurse Kristen said. "I don't feel any pain," I said numbly. "Good. Well, Vic, I'll be back later to check on you. You need anything else?" I can remember wanting to say more, but I knew I would sound crazy. "No, thanks," I finally responded. "Okay. Merry Christmas, Vic." Nurse Kristen left after that. I stared for a long time at the empty doorway. I could remember thinking, what the hell do I do now? Had I really dreamed our entire first meeting? Fuck that. Had I really dreamed an entire day that didn't happen? I tried to think about the last thing I could remember. I seemed to have a clear memory of dropping the scalpel and the nursing staff restraining me, or at least I thought I had a clear memory. "Merry Christmas, Nana!" Child voices cheered from down the hallway. I sat up in bed. "Oh, thank you, little ones," the old grandma replied. I tried to get up. I swung my legs over the side of the hospital bed. "We're hosting again this year," I heard a nurse say outside my room. "That's crazy, you don't even have kids," This was insane. I was actually reliving everything that had already happened to me. I rushed into the hallway. That's when the lights went out. And then I heard the bells again. An intense pain washed over me. I was on my back in the darkness, but I couldn't see anything yet. I could, however, feel my arms and legs being pulled in opposite directions. The bells chimed again, and the lights flickered. The ringing got faster and faster, and the lights seemed to flash on and off with the sound of each toll. I could only half see what was happening. Naked, bloody people were holding me down on the floor. But they weren't just holding me down. They were ripping my arms and legs off my body. I screamed as blood and shit and piss and vomit escaped me all at once. I was drowning in my own blood, and all I could hear was the ringing of the bells. My blood and vomit covered my eyes, and everything went black. "Can you hear me?" the voice asked me. "Hey, you still with us? Come on." My eyes opened. I was suddenly looking up into the faces of several paramedics. "Hey, her eyes, she's awake." I couldn't believe it. I was back in the ambulance on my way to the hospital. I can remember wanting to give up. I can remember closing my eyes and shaking my head. "What's going on? Are we losing her?" I heard a voice ask. I didn't care what they did. I just kept my eyes shut. I could remember thinking, why was this happening? Why was I reliving this? Was I already dead, and this was like my punishment or something? Was this my hell? I'm sorry, I thought. I'm sorry I felt so useless, so trapped, that death seemed like the best option. But was this justice? Was this right or fair? What now? What else? "Spit it," a Scottish accented voice said quietly. "Whose lonely grave is this?" "Why, yours, Ebenezer," a deep voice replied. "The richest man in the cemetery." I knew those voices. They were from my childhood. My eyes opened, and I was alone in my hospital bed again. I looked up. The mounted TV was on, and an old Disney cartoon, or whatever it was, played on the screen. "No, no, no, please," the Scottish cartoon character cried. "I'll change! I'll change!" I turned the TV off. I dropped the remote and sat up. Was it over? I covered my eyes with my hands and breathed in and out. I just needed a minute, just a second, to regain control. "I hate Christmas," I whispered to myself. Then I heard the bell ring. My hands were pulled away from my eyes. I stared up at the flickering lights of the hospital hallway. I could feel my arms and legs being ripped out of their sockets. I could feel the skin tear apart and the bones snap. I could feel the hot blood spill out under me. The flashing lights and the ringing of the bell were a welcome distraction from the pain. Then I heard it through the noise. A low rumble. Maybe I felt it more than I could hear it. I don't remember. My eyes focused on the empty hallway. The naked people crawled on the floor like insects. They seemed to eat and violate each other all at the same time. Some used my severed limbs as food. Some used my severed limbs as sex objects. They chewed on the bloody stumps, or they forced the bloody hands and feet into their own bleeding orifices. Tears filled my eyes, and I had to blink to maintain my vision. The bells tolled again, and through my tears, I saw a tall silhouette of a naked man or skeleton. The thing approached slowly. Its long, spider-like arms were outstretched to embrace me, and draped over its filthy claws were the jingling chains of tiny sleigh bells. Blood and pus oozed off its gray skin, and maggots swarmed its exposed bones. And that's when its slimy jaws opened, in a hideous smile. It knew I was there. Its bald, eyeless skull shimmered in the flickering light as it came closer and closer. I could feel and smell the hot breath of the thing as it stood over my defenseless body. The bells were screaming now, and I shut my eyes as I felt the skeletal entity slither up inside of me. "Wondering when you'd wake up?" a voice said. My eyes shot open, and I saw Nurse Kristen walk into my hospital room. "I need to write something down," I said suddenly. "Now, right now." Nurse Kristen stopped and looked at me. "Please," I cried. "I can hear the bells again."